Hey everybody, I'm not even sure where to look on this thing. This is the first time I'm recording from my iPad because I am comfortable in my state. This is where I usually do my Bible study, just in my bed with my Bible, with my notebook, and just in my own space where I'm not really disturbed. And now that I just said that, let me put my phone on silent. And I have my laptop in front of me, so I have like all kinds of things right now. But it's been a while since you guys, let me look. Am I looking? I think that's the right place. It's been a while since I have recorded anything, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I have so much going on. My husband is graduating from college, my daughter's birthday is coming up, and I am having a baby. So I've gone through my 3 months of not so fun, morning sickness and all that. So I kind of been off the map. And now I am approaching the next summer where I'm supposed to be continuing the work on the Honor a Lifetime video. But I am trying to get started with finding my footage and begin the editing process for that. And as you also know, in the busyness of life, I really haven't spent a lot of time focusing on myself and my relationship with my mom. And it's just gotten so busy. And since I've been so sick for really just the last month with this pregnancy so far, I've kind of just been home a lot. I haven't really been actively working. I've kind of just been taking some downtime to just take care of myself through the beginning stages of pregnancy, and then also just from that stemmed this whole thought process and where I am in my life. Now that my husband is finishing up on school, he'll be more involved with the business now, and I can take, a back seat on that and do more work in the background while he can, excel in his area of work. And I can actually use this time now to start transitioning myself into doing more things that appeal to me. And in the process of beginning my thoughts around the new journey I want to take on, projects that have been on hold for a while, including this Honor a Lifetime thing, I really wanted to pick up now. I want to finish my video production, all that kind of stuff. But in the process, I feel this, I'm in a place where I'm being told to be still, to hold, to not move forward. Have you ever felt or thought about, or let me just put it this way, I feel like I've been going around a mountain. I feel like I've come back to the same place where I'm like, I'm not miserable, but I'm not happy. And I don't know the next step to go. But I feel like I've been in this place before. You guys ever had a, time like that? Where you feel like you've been in a place like where you're unsure what direction you want to go, which way God wants you to go. You feel like you've been here before. Because I feel like I've been there before. And I feel like I've moved forward. And now here I am again. I don't know if it's just here I am again or God's moving me into a new place. But before I can get to that place, there's some other things that need to be worked out before I can move forward. So I'm in a standing still. But to me, I feel like I'm going around this mountain. I'm going around, coming back to the same place, but I'm not going up the mountain. So I've been in this little funk, I'll call it, for a couple of weeks just kind of pondering on this thought of, okay, what am I missing, God? What am I missing? I don't want to move forward and then come back to this place again where I feel like I don't know the next step you want me to go. And I don't want to go where I don't feel you're leading me. I want everything that I do to be right. I want it to be His will. And I've become frustrated in this whole process of what am I to do? What am I going to do with my business? What am I going to do with this new project? Because some things are coming up that are not really working out, and it makes me feel like that's maybe not what I should be doing, but I'm not acting. I'm just staying still until it's clarified. There's a piece in my heart for where I am to go next. So I was talking to Tiara, my sister, the other day, and I was also talking to my husband about what I've been dealing with in my own mind and how I've been in this holding place. And I went to Bible study this week, and just generally over the last week or so, I have what has been coming up is this topic of forgiveness. This topic of forgiveness and the importance of loving one another. The other day, my mom called and pissed me off. I feel like this is an ongoing thing, but you guys know this is my situation. So, she made me really upset. She said bye, and I just hung up the phone. I didn't even get a chance to say a word, and so that was how the conversation ended. And I just felt like a chunk of my joy had been taken. And it had, because I was fine before the phone call, and then she came and just yelled, and yeah. And at the end of the phone call, I was so upset, and I didn't want that call to bother me, but it did. And it kind of stirred up some emotions in me that made me realize, or made me begin to think about, or I should say that just made me be frustrated for a while. And over the last week, in the recent Bible study, this whole thought of love and forgiveness, I thought about that situation, and I didn't respond to my mom. I didn't respond because rather than say something disrespectful or do something that I would regret later, I usually just silence myself and just shut it down. That way, I don't really engage or put any energy into that. So I have kind of been thinking about that, and in service on Sunday, my pastor was talking about how we can live our lives to be an example to others, how we can show love to others through the way we live our lives. And I didn't really understand that. And so I spent time dwelling and thinking about that too. So I've been taking some time, guys, to think, to stop, be still, think, pray, and just take advantage of this downtime I have while I've been sick to think about these things and what they mean. So, yeah. So not that this story could get any shorter, because it's already long, I'm sure. So I wanted to say where I am right now is I've been trying to study what is forgiveness. Because to me, I'm a little confused by it. So I figured maybe some of you could appreciate my study, my Bible study around that topic. Hold on just a sec. So I began this study around, study around forgiveness. forgiveness and what that means. I've been confused by it because for I'll use the example with my mom and everybody else in my life, I guess, who I want to that have some weight on me, some type of feeling on me where I just would like change to happen. So, starting with my mom, I know what bothers me about her. I know what she does to bother me and make me upset. But I can't seem to pinpoint what it is that where the forgiveness would lie with her. And forgiveness keeps coming up in the fact that I need to show love through my life. I know I need to respond to my mom with love. That's what Jesus would do. He loved us. So I know that I need to show my mom love in the way I live my life. But when it comes to forgiveness, how do I forgive someone who doesn't know there's a problem? And maybe I'm jumping ahead. I don't want to confuse you guys too. But how, or I should say, I know about her bothers me. But how do I forgive that? If that makes any sense. This is what I'm stuck on. This is what I'm stuck on right now. How do I forgive these things that my mom does that bothers me? And then, how do I forgive something that is ongoing? Because a part of me is like, I could work with God and have faith that I could forgive her. But then a part of me is like, I don't know if it's forgiveness. I have to pray and ask. This is where I'm praying and I'm asking God, is it forgiveness that I need with my mom? Or is it something else that I don't know what it is yet? It's just been put out there in my mind, the thing about love and the thing about forgiveness. So I don't really know for sure which one it is. And that's what I'm in prayer about right now. Because I don't want to assume. I don't want to keep going around this mountain. But I know, and you guys know from last summer, this situation with my mom has been going on for a while. I know I have to deal with it because whenever she does something that makes me upset, it stops me from moving forward. She's stealing some of my joy. And so I know this is a situation I need to deal with. So that's why I feel like forgiveness is something I should be studying and looking into and praying about. Because today in my notes, when I was thinking about it, something has been telling me, Latonia, just write the letter. Write the letter to your mom. Or just write this letter saying what it is you want to say to your mom. Saying the things that hurt you. Saying the things that bother you. And once I made the decision to write this letter, something in me has been holding me back from writing it. I started to write it the other day when she first upset me. And I was writing from anger. And it was just a quick, 5 lines. Not anything serious. It just came out what I was frustrated by. I left it at that. And now, the day before yesterday, I was talking to my sister, and at the end of the conversation, it was a decision where we both felt like, I need to be writing this letter to get these things out that are bothering me so I can see what it is. What's the root of what it is? And now that I made that decision, I am so holding back from writing it. Because I don't feel angry now. At the time I was angry. She had upset me, so I wrote the blurbs of lines. And then now, to sit down and write this letter, I just feel like I'm just writing words. Like I'm not writing from anger. I'm just writing. And then a part of me is just like, this letter, it's like I have a fear, and I know I shouldn't have this fear. That's why I need to rely on faith to get me through. Because if I rely on myself, I'm going to have this fear, which is what is really holding me back from writing this letter, because I have built my walls up so much so that my mom cannot hurt me. She can upset me, I can get mad, and I can be mad right back. But I don't allow her to hurt me. But the thought of writing this letter, I feel like it's going to cause a crack in this wall I have built up that's going to release some of the hurt I feel around this topic. And then the thought of giving this letter to my mom or even telling her how I feel hurts me. I'm too strong of a person to cry. Like, I won't cry. That's not something I do unless I'm really, really hurt by something. And this particular area hurts me. So the thought of putting myself into the fire, like purposely throwing myself into a fire or purposely throwing myself into a situation that I know hurts, is so hard. It's so hard. So that's where I am now. Trying to make the choice to wholeheartedly have faith in God that He is going to get me through this. Like, actually give my heart, give my situation over to Him and walk in faith, knowing that I can get through this. To not think of the worst, to not let my notions about the situation, how I'm going to be hurt in the situation, stop me from moving forward. I need to allow God to do the work. I was reading an article online where it says, the lady was saying she believes God honors our commitment to obey Him and our desire to please Him when we choose to forgive. He completes the work in His time, but we must continue to forgive. That's our job. Our job is to forgive by faith. And then wait for the work of forgiveness, which is the Lord's job. The work of forgiveness is the Lord's job within us. Wait for it to be done in our hearts. I thought that was awesome. There was something else too that I read, and it says, we forgive by faith out of obedience. Since forgiveness goes against our nature, we must forgive by faith. It's the only way it's going to happen. I've been trying to work this out my own way through making a video, blah, 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 blah. It's not working out. Or at least not yet. I can't just go about it without having faith in God, and I can't just make my own way with this. So, out of obedience, we must forgive by faith. Since forgiveness goes against our nature, we must forgive by faith, whether we feel like it or not. And it's not that I don't feel like it. I'm just totally afraid by it. We must trust, and I just put in my own little parentheses, don't be like the Israelites. We have to trust God to do the work in us that needs to be done so that the forgiveness will be complete. It is a tough topic, tough situation, but I wanted to share where I am on my journey with you guys because it has been a while. So I'll keep you posted, and I hope you're learning. And please encourage me, send your feedback, send your comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. All right, I hope you guys are all well. Talk to you soon. Bye.